Welcome again to Basic First Aid, Mr. Grove, and today we're going to review the CPR and AED. We're going to look at advanced skill practice. I'll go a little slow through it so you can put yourself in the scene. But before we start that, the key word or acronym today, again, is Doctors ABCD. This was a few weeks ago we talked about this. When we look at an emergency action plan, if you can remember, doctors, ABCD, that is critical. So let's look what that stands for. It will also assist us when we go through the adult CPR, AED advanced skill practice today. So the D, danger. Do not put yourself in harm's way. Do not put anybody else in harm's way as well. If the victim or the casualty is in a situation you can't address, you wait until emergency technicians or EMTs get to the scene. But that is the D. Make sure the stage is safe. So that's the D. The R is response. So what you want to do is to see if the person has any response. And that would be done by going up to the person and touching them on the shoulder and saying, "Are you okay?" When you would do that, obviously, if you can't push or touch or even touch the person, if you could say, "Can you open your eyes?" or "Can you squeeze my hand?" That would be the response. Then the third, is the DRS, the doctors. The S is send for help, and have that person or yourself, you would call 911 because you have an unresponsive victim. So it's danger, response, send, and that means call 911. When you send that person, if they can find an AED, that would be great because you have an unresponsive person. So let's look what the A stands for. The A stands for airway. So when you have the victim, if they're on their back or in a position where you can address and look at the airway, you want to see if it's obstructed. Person could have been choking, could have been something blocking it. That's what you would check in the A, airway. That needs to be open if you were going to continue with what the B stands for, is breathing. Okay? So when you look and check for breathing, it's very simple. You use your eyes, your ear, and feeling. So you would get close to the person's mouth, turn your eyes towards their chest, and to see if the chest is rising, listen to see if you hear of the person breathing, or if you feel breaths coming from the person's mouth or nose. Okay? That is the B. Look, listen, feel. The C is CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Remember, this person is unresponsive. So what you would do is you would position yourself to be able to give 30 compressions in 1 minute, which accounts for 100 to 120 compressions per minute. Then you would give two rescue breaths, and you would continue that cycle until assistance comes or the EMTs arrive. Okay? Then the D, that person you sent back on the S, they went and got the defibrillator, the AED. One nice thing about an AED, say if you've never seen one, if you get the opportunity on Stevenson campus, down by the gymnasium on the left side, when you walk down the steps, there's an AED in the encasement on the wall. But that being said, it prompts you. So it's pretty simple to follow. The key ingredient to that AED is not touch the person or anybody else, because what it does, it nullifies the sequence of the shock waves and the rhythm. So it won't hurt you, but it does not work effectively if you touch the victim when that AED is using the shock mode. So let's look at today's practice skills. Here we go. You can see the scene. Chris was walking through a parking lot to work. He appeared to be in distress, then collapsed. His co-worker, Dustin, is standing nearby, and I won't read the rest. You can see it. start the
Use
mission.
the skills you've learned to respond to this emergency.
Okay, now I'm going to take you through the skills, and I might just let you think about it and push the wrong button and see what happens. But right now we're going to go everything correctly. Check the scene. So this is to look for danger, as we said, the D.
Safe. While checking, you didn't notice any severe life-threatening bleeding.
So we're going to go to the victim. Okay. So we need to, did he just fall over faint? Is he responsive? So let's find out what the R is.
What is the correct way to check for responsiveness?
So we're just going to touch the shoulder and shout, "Are you okay?"
Chris is unresponsive.
So when we think about that, so we did the D and the R. So now he's unresponsive. So we go back to the scene.
I think you should focus on helping Chris. How can I help?
Okay, we get this gentleman and we send Dustin to call 911 and get an AED and a first aid kit if he has availability.
Okay, I'll run back inside and call 911 and get the AED and first aid kit. I'll be back as soon as I can. You keep helping Chris.
So we're back to Chris. Okay, so we did the D, the R, and the S. Now let's get the A, the airway open.
The airway is now open.
Okay, so when we have the airway open, okay, let's see what it says here. We did that already. The airway is open, so let's go what it tells us to do here. We're going to perform the or look, listen, and feel with the breaths, and then we're going to start our CPR. So this victim, this person right here, we want to move him. I got to get myself out of the arrow, and let's move him. Interlock our hands. Okay, and our compression count, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Pace is 100. I could even went a little faster. Open the airway.
The airway is now open.
Okay. Give rescue breaths, and that would be 2.
Okay, I've got the AED and I called 911. They said they're on their way and that you should keep helping him.
Okay, so we want to get the AED.
Remove clothing from person's chest.
Remember, it will.
Attach pads firmly to person's chest,
Okay.
as shown.
So we expose the chest. Go back to the AED. Attach the AED pads, as shown. Okay, so this one is up on here, and this one's back on the side over here. Go back to
Analyzing rhythm. Everyone stand clear.
Okay, so make sure when we say about tell bystanders to stand clear.
Shock advised.
Shock.
Charging. Everyone stand clear.
Okay, so it told you again, everyone stand clear. Push shock.
Shock delivered. Begin 5 cycles of CPR.
So now you would not remove the pads. You would perform chest compressions. Okay, you're going to give that 30 compressions at a rate of 100 to 120 per minute.
You've completed 30 compressions.
Okay, we're going to open the airway.
The airway is now open.
Then we're going to go give 2 rescue breaths.
2 rescue breaths.
Okay, we continue that cycle. And so
the AED is already on. The paramedics arrive as you are performing compressions. You continue pushing until they indicate it's time for them to take over.
Okay. So there you go. That would be the cycle. Again, remember DRSABCD. Danger, response, send for help. That's 911. Get an AED. Airway open. B, breathing. C, CPR. D, defibrillator. You got it? Okay, I'm going to pause right here. We're going to attach a video with infant CPR and child CPR, and then the quiz at the end is going to be very simple. And I can tell you, you should know what D, R, S, A, B, C, D stands for, that acronym. That will be a big plus on the quiz. Okay, class? The next video you'll watch will be a infant child CPR.